Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Nicole and today I have another book tag for you. Surprisingly, I'm not in my kitchen this time, but my son is, if that counts for anything. So I'm going to be doing the time and place tag. So I've got my phone with the questions on it and my notebook with the answers. This tag was created by Carl at Please Read Your Book, and I was tagged by David Novak at David Novak Reads Poetry. So you can go check out both their channels, and their tag videos will be linked below, assuming I can find them. I apologize if you can hear the massive clanking of dishes in the background and my phone going off. Here we are, hanging out while the dishes get put away. That'll make you feel like we're still in my kitchen. Anyway, let's go ahead with the prompts. Prompt number 1 is a book that reminds you of your past. For this, I chose Doomsday by Connie Willis. I just recently read this book this year, or at the end of last year. It's all kind of fading into one long reading journey. And I believe I gave this book 5 stars. It was really good. I really enjoyed that book. Though, sadly, it reminds me of my past because that book features not one, but 2 different pandemics. So yeah, if you were around in 2020, you can imagine the past that reminded me of. But it was okay. The book was good and it wasn't too traumatizing in terms of the recent past. Prompt number 2 is a book that is set in a place you want to visit but have not. And I had a different book for this, but I'm actually going to go with Under the Tuscan Sun because I would really like to visit Italy and particularly Tuscany. So there you go. I haven't read that book in a very long time. I think I read it in high school, and it was super popular at whatever time that I read it. So it's kind of an oldie, and it was, just a good lighthearted read, but it has marvelous descriptions of that part of Italy. Number 3 is a book set in a foreign country that you admire. I don't know if I'd say I'd admire countries per se, but I get the idea of the question. And so for me, again, that would be Italy. It's kind of similar to the question before for me, but maybe for some people it is different. But I do have a different book for this. I would go with Betrothed by Alessandro Manzoni. This is a book about 2 young people who want to get married, but their love is being thwarted, I'm pretty sure, by somebody else who's like the third party in their love triangle, that kind of thing. I have a whole lot of books on my bookshelf that are about like thwarted marriages between people, Romeo and Juliet kind of trope, that kind of thing. I love it. I don't know. And question number 4 is a book set in the city, province, or district you live in. And yeah, that's really hard to do. I looked this up, and the closest that I could get to was a book that was written in the state that I currently live in. And so I chose A Bridge to Terabithia. And if you want, you can do the work and figure out what state that is in. This book, it was a classic from my childhood that I just remember reading on my own and then having to read, I swear, multiple times in school. But it was a really good book. I enjoyed it. It has quite a bit of like sort of not really any magic in it, I don't recall, but a lot of talk about magic and magical kingdoms, and features a young boy and a young girl who meet in the course of a race, and like foot race kind of deal, and become unlikely but really good friends. And I also recall the book being sad. I'm not sure it's one that I would ever go back to, but it's set in the state I live in. Number 5, a book set in the future that you think is or will be realistic. Let's hope that this one's not true, but that would be The Last Man by Mary Shelley. Now, I've yet to read this book, so I may be saying more horrifying things than I intend to, but the basic premise of this book is it's set in 2073, and there is a horrible pandemic that is overtaking the world. Is this the future or the past? It's the future. That hasn't happened yet. Hopefully it will never will. I guess I could have gone with a brighter, happier ending, or future, but well, it's too late for that now. The other book that I was going to originally use for the answer to question 2 was The Italian by Radcliffe, and I mentioned this because this was another book that happened to also feature, thwarted romances. So overall, my question to these 5 things either had to do with pandemics or thwarted love. What does that say about me? I don't want to know. Let's just ponder that question. And again, I have forgotten to look up ahead of time multiple people to tag, so I'm just going to tag one person in this video, but I will tag multiple people in the description box. All of these people, like I've said in the past, are people whose channels I watch and enjoy, so go check them out. And the only person whose name I wrote down, because I meant to come back and write down more names, is Gemma at Gemma Books. But if you are watching this video and you would like to answer these tag questions, consider yourself tagged and go ahead and do so. And don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you next time.